welcome to another OCD Recovery Instagram Live. I'm going to be talking a little bit about why OCD recovery is not a quick fix. Now, this is a mistake that most people make. What happens is people think that with their brain, with certain problems that they've had in the past, they've been able to get out of them pretty quickly by sort of thinking about something quickly and then sort of calming themselves down, which of course doesn't work with something like OCD. Now, the reason I made a quote earlier that said something along the lines of, in the past, treatment like lobotomy was even used for OCD, which is obviously a very extreme measure that, thank God, we don't use today. And the reason that I made that point was to show that I was saying that don't think, if you could tip or trick your way out of OCD, it obviously wouldn't have been a disorder like it was in the past. It's not something with just a few magic words it's going to go away. It's something with sort of persistence and practice and regular work, then you can recover fully, which equals no chronic guilt and no chronic anxiety. But it takes practice to change those irrational beliefs that are fueling the cycle. Now, the problem is people tend to think that there's some tip or trick magic words, and it keeps them stuck because they're looking for this instant fix to the problem constantly, which becomes an absolute disaster. So what we see all the time, I mean, the most common DM that I get is, can I have a tip or trick to get out of OCD? Can I have a tip or trick right now to get me out of a panic attack? Can I have a tip or trick right now to finish this OCD altogether? Hundreds and hundreds of those DMs. It doesn't work. I have to be clear about that. A lot of what I do in my job is about being clear about the things that do and don't work, because it's so important. Otherwise, we spend ages at a dead end not realizing that that's not going to lead to recovery. So it's so common for us to get stuck there. So we have to be direct. The problem with OCD a lot of the time is people go to somebody for help who gives them a lot of calming sensations, very nice talk, very nice sort of reassuring sort of tone and reassuring phrases, and they feel nice and comfy when they're in there. But then when they come out of the session, then they get stuck. So that is not what you want to do. It's got to be something that changes, that shifts that gear, because OCD is like having that clunking gearbox that's not going. You're not able to move forward, and we're trying to get that moving forward bit by bit by bit by bit. Now, it's so important that we think of not looking for the instant fix. In the past, when I was trying to recover 15, 20 years ago, the internet was full of nonsense sort of deadline recovery courses. So things like get free from OCD in a week, get free from OCD in 2 weeks. And that obviously didn't work. And the problem with deadlines is people then, when the deadline's looming, they think, shit, I'm not better yet. If I'm still stuck, I'm never going to recover. If I'm still stuck, that I must be a rare case that's treatment resistant. And it's building up a pressure towards that deadline. So you don't want to do that. You don't want deadlines. You want to go with a longer term approach of, yes, I'm working fast. Yes, I'm doing the things necessary to get me better, but I don't need to be better in the next day or 2 days. You know how much of my journey was spent just when I woke up in the morning thinking I'd have OCD cracked, fixed and done first thing in the morning before I got out of bed. And I did that for years, because it's such an easy habit to get into, especially when anxiety ramps up in the morning and then we think, shit, I've got to turn this down to go and function and get on with my day. And so then you've got that added pressure, that deadline that you've set for the morning, and then it builds up with, I don't want to be wasting my life, I don't want to be stuck like this, I've got to do something to escape, and then that's all digging yourself deeper in the quicksand. So I wanted to come on here and do this snippet video today, unlike a lot of my videos that go on and on and on, because there's a lot of detail to talk about specific topics. I wanted to just come on and give this very short video about why OCD is not a quick fix. And by learning to see that, we actually help take our foot off the internal gas, and we stop trying to internally fight it, to internally struggle against it. And that is a key component of OCD recovery. Guys, I will see you back on here shortly doing a question and answers on everything about OCD. All right, guys, see you later.